Hey guys, this is the officially unofficial geek channel, Spoilertastic weekly roundup plus an unboxing. As you can see, it's a box, and I'm gonna open it right here, right now. Let's talk about this for a second. What we're gonna be doing tonight, we're gonna do this unboxing right here, and we're going to talk about comic books. You know, the normal shit. As always, I am your host, Carrie Quinn. If you guys don't know that by now, hi, I'm Carrie Quinn. And as you guys know, when I open boxes, I use a pen. So, where is this from? You may be asking yourself. Well, person at home, I got this from uh, Dynamic Forces, the Experience channel. I actually happened to be watching one day when Pop Culture Philosophers' regular show was going on, and basically what happens is there's stuff that you can claim, that they come in and has a certain price, and there is stuff that they do, like it's kind of like a best offer kind of thing, so like it's going throughout the show, and whoever has the highest offer at the end of the show or like at a certain point gets the item, which is usually comic books, because Dynamic Forces is a comic book company. Who is Dynamic Forces? Well, Dynamic Forces is basically, from my understanding, is basically Dynamite Comics, and they do this show. Wow, I am really bright. Let's see if I can do a little bit of a. Let's see. That looks maybe okay. I look kind of yellow, but it's not as bright. Let's see here. There we go. It still look kind of yellow, but that's fine. Um, that's why I'm kind of in a different setup here today than normal. I wanted a little bit more room to open this here box. I just scared my cat. Whoops. Um, I would not be at all surprised. Oh, you are really scared. I'm sorry, buddy. If we end up like right before I started recording, River was up here on the table walking all around. So I would not be at all surprised if we got a River sighting as soon as he was done being scared. Mama's opening a box. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, Dynamic Forces, the experience they have, a YouTube channel, has all kinds of different shows on it. Not just the shows that they do with other people, but other content shows. And I subscribe to them, so you should do the same. My personal opinion, I hate these things. They get everywhere. Is there someplace I can throw them? No, there is not someplace I can throw them without somebody having to go. Right there. Yeah. Thank you, my wonderful, wonderful boyfriend, partner, Joe. He does not like to go on camera, so I do appreciate that. Thanks, Joe. So, these probably are the bane of most people's existence when they get things, but I understand the point of them. I really do. So one day I happened to be watching, and they had, so they have slabs, they have single issues, sometimes things are signed, there's remarks, all kinds of stuff. Really great shit. And, you know, fun banter in the comments, you know, in the live chat. Fun to, you know, they really pay attention to people that are chatting, and they interact with them. So it's pretty cool. I did like my experience overall. And I did put a claim on something, which, let me tell you something. I got this box a few days ago, and then I just hadn't opened it yet, and it was like, oh, you haven't opened your box yet, you know, and I was like, yeah, I haven't opened my box yet. But then I remembered today is a very, very special day in the world of DC Comics history. It's September 11th, and September 11th, 1992, a certain Mistress of Mayhem came into our lives, into the vernacular of the world. That's today. That's the 30th anniversary today of one Harley Quinn. Her first episode, like I said, September 11th, 1992, was Joker's Favor. And it also I believe it happens to be the 22nd episode of Batman the Animated Series, which is really funny because the year right now is 2022. Just a coincidence. That's all. The thing about these packing peanuts is they happen to also have a lot of what am I searching for? A lot of did I drop one accidentally? Yeah. Well, it was stuck on my hand, and I think that's where it happened because it's. Thank you. What the fuck am I thinking of?
Electric.
Static electricity. Thank you, Joe. There's static electricity with these things that we took it away from him, and it was giving him great joy.
He was eating it.
Oh, not good. Not good. Yeah. So he likes to put whatever in his mouth, it seems. Did it taste bad? Yeah. Okay, so I have most of them removed. Put them over the side here. So there was this slab sitting there out for the show, and I recognized it right away. It is a Harley Quinn slab. More like it is actually from Harleen. Harleen is a Stepan Sejic. I'm probably mispronouncing that. He did a story, and when I say he did it, he did the art, he did the writing, and it is kind of a retelling origin story of Harley Quinn. I know there's a lot of those in the world, but let me tell you something. This thing is killer. If you've never read it and you're a Harley fan, you simply must. You simply must. Okay. So there is more packing peanuts underneath there. So we're just going to do this. So it's really well put together. It's inside an envelope, inside a box with the packing peanuts. So we just put those back in there for the purpose of the show here. All right. That was easier than I thought it would be. Awesome. So I scored this sweet little number here for $50, and it is absolutely gorgeous, it seems. No other. Yeah, I think these are this is a little bit bigger than usual because Harleen is a Prestige Plus format. This is a variant cover. Yeah, I think this is bigger than just surface size than a normal slab, maybe.
Yeah, obviously it would have to be bigger because Prestige Plus is bigger.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got. Oh wow, this is cool. This is very cool. So this is book one. This is the variant. I think this is cover B. It's very nicely held in there. It has like, you can tell where there's like a little case within the case. It's kind of nice. Yeah. Um, here we are. Now, I scored this puppy for $50. Guys, that's pretty good. They got some good deals on these shows. Yeah. That's pretty badass. That looks good. That looks real good. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I got. I got for $50, I got Harleen number 1. The See, the one thing that kind of bothers me is like, is that on the outside or on the inside of the case? There's like markings here, and like you can kind of see them, like right here. But I don't know if that's inside the case because I can't rub it off. But that's what she looks like from the front. Pretty nice. Now, see, that's also a problem on the front as well. Yes, I did just take a lick my finger to try and wipe this shit off. Yes, I did. Yeah. You saw that? Yeah. Um, it's kind of weird just taking more looks at this. Like, it's kind of like marked up on the front. Like, it's hard to tell here, but you can definitely see it where it's like that. Yeah. I don't know about that. That's kind of a bummer. That's kind of a bummer. Like, I don't know if it's on the inside of the plastic or what's going on here. You know, the thing is, yeah, that is annoying. It's on both sides. And I'm clearly seeing, I don't know if you guys are seeing it on the video. Maybe I'll take pictures to kind of show it off and post it to Instagram later. But there's like scuff marks, and I cannot tell, one, how the scuff marks got there, and two, how we can get rid of them. And I did pay money for this, hoping that that wouldn't be an issue. And I mean, it came in plastic too. So, I still love it. It's still, you know, a Harley slab, but that's annoying that happened. I mean, it's even, like I said, it's in plastic. It's shouldn't. I would think that it shouldn't look like that. Like it's old or some shit and dirty. Oh, see, this is what happens, guys, when you open things up live on, or not live, we're recording. This is what happens when you open things up on camera. And I'm not going to edit it out. I'm not gonna. You want to take a look? Joe happens, as you guys know, is in the room with me. It's on, like, in the middle, on the front, and the back. Well, he's doing that. Okay, so, you see it? And then it's, like, real bad on the back, too. Are you looking at the back or the front? Yeah, and it's, like, in the same area. Like, it looks like it's something that should be able to be rubbed off, but... I mean, the thing is I love the book. I love, you know, whether you know it or not, I'm on a quest to get all of the Harley books that I can. And I did not have this one yet.
Still really awesome.
It's still really awesome, though, like... It might have, like, I don't know if they mentioned that that was an issue when they did the show. Probably, like, if they didn't, that should have been something said, but I don't remember.
The show must go on.
Show must go on.
We'll go on out of being a slab here.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, okay. So, we're going to talk about comics, too. Yeah. We're going to talk about comics. From last couple weeks. Yeah. So, normally when I do these shows, I do my least favorite to my most favorite, but we got comics from a couple different weeks here, so I'm just going to talk about the comics. Does that sound good? All right. So, first one I'm going to talk to you guys about, hiccups, is Variants number 3. I really enjoyed this. It's kind of we do have a She-Hulk here. We have Jen Walters here. And she is hanging out with Jessica Jones. And we have Jewel, the Jewel variant, show up. And the Jewel variant is very young and very understanding and all that. And seems like pretty cool, right? So they find the different variants and they bring all the different variants together. She has a headache that happens, right? And she's like, you know, every time I have one of these headaches, another variant shows up. But all she knows is that we have Jewel, then we have the Captain America version of her, and we have a another different leather jacket, but white t-shirt as opposed to the dark t-shirt. And she's trying to figure out everything that's going on and how all this relates to the Purple Man issue, basically. The story is progressing. It's progressing nicely. I do like the story so far. I like that there's a question where this fourth variant is, and then you get the idea that the fourth variant, when you see the fourth variant, Jessica herself does not see the fourth variant, but the fourth variant has actually tracked down Luke Cage where he is staying with the kid because he's supposed to go and hide somewhere. Well, this fourth variant is quite interesting because the fourth variant is appears to be a guy. It appears to be a male, and it is a male version of Jessica. And it finds Luke going into an elevator, and they fight, and it gives the kind of impression that the point of the variants, or at least the point of that variant, was to go after Jessica's family. So when Jessica gets all the different hers together and they're having coffee somewhere, at Jessica's shop that she likes to have coffee at, um, she gets somebody, writing her a note telling her to not trust any of them. And it's kind of like, well, where did this come from? Um, so yeah, there's that. But the variance so basically the question is right now is the variant is the purpose of the variants coming through to exclusively go after her family, or is there maybe some of them are supposed to and some of them are not, that kind of thing. Like maybe there's a reason for it, but it's still very much up in the air right now. I'm enjoying this. This is great work. It's by Gail Simone and art by Phil Noto. So not an extremely exciting book, not anything that a lot of shit is really happening in, but it's a solid story that we're building a foundation for. So we'll see what happens. It's book 3, and we'll see how many other variants of Jessica Jones show up. The next book I'm going to talk to you about is Batman 127. This is great, guys. I really enjoyed this book. It looks like we've got an alter ego of Batman being activated, and it's still in the body of Bruce Wayne, but he's wearing it's Zur-En-Arrh, I believe is how you pronounce it. That version of the Batman. And see, the thing is that version of the Batman is supposed to be there whenever Bruce is unable to handle things. So if Bruce goes off the rails, that's when this version of Batman is supposed to take the reins, right? But the thing is like, so Bruce developed a failsafe for when he's Batman, but then that Batman also developed another failsafe. So it's, and one of the jokes that's in it is like, of course, Batman would do that. Any version of Batman would do that. Any version of Bruce would do that. And then you get to a point where the waking Bruce is arguing in their thoughts in their brain with the Zur-En-Arrh Bruce, and they get to the point where it's like you kind of have to question who exactly is driving the car at this point. However, you also have the rest of the Bat family getting involved. You have Tim, that's right there with Batman. You have everyone else, out and doing their thing. The problem is like the Batgirls, they're Cass and Stephanie are both really injured. You have Nightwing, who's injured but is trying to call shots on the ground. You have Barbara, who is doing, her thing as Oracle. And then, Nightwing is like beside himself. He doesn't know really what to do. And Barbara's like, you know what? I'm going to put some calls out there. Well, here's the thing. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into this one next. Here's the thing. She puts those calls out there, and you're wondering, is anybody going to respond? You know, is anybody going to come forth and help? So we get to the end of the book, and when Failsafe is going after, and it's really looking bad, going after Bruce Batman. It's just beautiful, guys. Like this is some good writing on Batman. And if you haven't been in a Batman comic, like the Batman comic, for some time, for whatever reason, you might want to consider checking out, if you got the extra coin, the issues that have happened so far for the Zdarsky run. We start with Batman 125. This is the only third issue of that run. Okay, so we start with Batman 125, 126, and now we have 127. There's this beautiful moment when you are finding out who is showing up to help Batman. And he's thinking about, like, he's feeling like he's gonna die. It's that moment where you're like, where he's sitting there and you're reading it and you're like, oh my god, Batman actually thinks he's about to die. This might be the thing, because he designed this thing to take him out. He did that. He designed this thing to take him out. Anything that the other Batman has done to try and take out this being hasn't worked. He is basically lying at the bottom of the stairs in the manor, okay, kind of broken, and he's just sitting there, and all he can think about is his sons. You know, I think of Dick, Tim, Jason, Damien, my legacy, my sons. Can't move, body giving out. This is a good death, isn't it? In this place with all these memories. And you see like them running around. You see Alfred there. And he says, it would be a good death. But Batman doesn't die. I don't hear Failsafe, but I hear him. When he means it, his voice is a boom. And then there's somebody there that says, I'm going to need you to back away from my friend. And it says a Midwestern boom that tells even the cynics everything will be all right. And Superman is here. Superman is there. Superman is there to help his friend. So I'm assuming one of those calls that Barbara made got through. So that's really good. But people are probably asking themselves right now, well, wait, I heard Superman, because that's not John Kent. That's not John Kent. That's clearly Clark Kent. I heard Superman is on Warworld. Well, guys, next on the hit parade, let's talk about Superman Warworld Apocalypse, the epic conclusion to the Warworld saga. Right here. So yeah, this is the ending, and I've heard mixed reviews about it, but I'm going to tell you something. This ain't bad. This ain't bad at all. Does Batman, in simple terms, does Batman? I'm talking about Superman now, Carrie. You're talking about Superman. Okay, does Superman do what he set out to do with his authority? The authority, meaning the authority. Does Batman, or I did it again. Oh my God. Pull your shit together, Quinn. Does Superman do what he set out to do and free the slaves of Warworld? And the answer is yes. Does he kill Mongol? He doesn't. And I am not completely sure what seems to happen actually happens. This is my viewpoint. Okay? So we ended the last episode with what I believed, if you guys recall, it was the needless double cross, the needless betrayal by Krylux, the Theodosian that was working with Superman. What you find out is he was doing that all to kind of corral Mongol. So when the fight happens, you get to a point where eventually Krylux actually, seems to do like a death dealing blow to Mongol, and everything is pretty much over on that side. But then you got to also talk about what's happening on the other end of things, which one would think that if I were to assess a VIP to this entire situation, that it would probably be Superman. But something happens that's kind of epic, and it kind of happens in like passing. Like it's kind of like a there. Oh, did that just happen? Oh, but wait, it was actually this kind of moment, and that is perpetrated. Um, can I speak? Maybe not. That is accomplished by Manchester Black. Manchester Black and everyone else is fighting kind of like back up to the side. And if you recall, if you've been reading Superman Action Comics, the thing is Mongol and his cronies were basically taking over all of these different um, parts of the authority. And one of those parts that was taken over was Apollo. And if you recall, Apollo and Midnight are partners, and it was really kind of sucky because Midnight was having to fight his love. He was having to fight his partner Apollo, and Apollo is a strong motherfucker, right? So they had to use an illusion to kind of like calm Apollo down. And what he did was, and you're thinking, oh my god, it's Deus Ex Machina Justice League. But it's not. It's all of a sudden you see, we're here, Justice League, woohoo! And you're thinking, at first when you read this, you're thinking, no, 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 you motherfuckers. Superman asked you for your help, and it was you all that were like, no, can't do it. And he got the authority coming. Y'all want to come in now? Y'all want to come in now? And then you turn the page. You turn the page then, and you find out that it's actually an illusion that Manchester Black did. Yeah. So okay, that works. Apollo is better. Everyone is, got their, minds back again. Um, Mongol is defeated. There's a little bit of a, oh, but wait, there's more moment with Krylux, the League of Planets, where basically you see that everything wasn't necessarily in the up and up involving that. And that could always come to be something later. However, the end of the story is reserved for one person. And the end of the story is reserved for Lois Lane. Lois Lane feeling kind of lonely and missing Superman. And this kind of like a narration where she's like, you know, when you come back, that first day, just that first day has to be just for me. Everyone else can wait, but that first day has to be me and you and the sunset. And he comes back, he picks her up, and that's what happens. It's just that's how this story ends. A victorious Superman coming home for his, basically, coming home for his family, coming home for his great love and all that. It's very nice, very sweet moment. Sorry if I'm a girl about this, but yeah, hello, I'm a girl. Okay, so let's see here. What do we want to talk about next? We got a few left to go. Let's go ahead and let's see here. They're all in front of me. Let's take a little bit of a detour, and this is a book that came out a couple weeks ago. A few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. And somebody else on another show, a couple other shows, had read it, and it made me intrigued. And so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and read this. It's called Barbaric Axe to Grind #1. This is so great. This is so awesome, and I'm really glad I read this. I'm going to continue reading this. But basically, you have a barbarian who has a talking axe that drinks blood, gets drunk off of blood, and his companion, fighter companion, and his basically, I would guess that she's a sorcerer companion, and they are fighting these vampire giants and this vampire fiend, and to try to free their friend from their friend Steel from basically this vampire's mind control. Yeah. And you come to find out that somebody that they had fought before is all run amok, and they're going to have to deal with that as well. And that's basically where the story is. I thought it was really cute. I liked the whole story of the group, the guy that doesn't want to be good but has to be good, and the axe that is basically, getting drunk off of blood. It's funny. It's funny. The talking axe that gets drunk off of blood. The smart ass axe that gets drunk off the blood. It's pretty fun. It's fun. But let's go ahead and what do we want to talk about next? Let's talk about Dark Crisis. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, #4. Oh dear. Okay, so basically what we got going on here is more kind of realization of what's going on with the pariah situation, the different Earths, not Earths, excuse me, the different realities that each of the Justice Leaguers are going through. And what's up with that, more understanding of that from the Flash. And he is joined now by Hal Jordan on this journey to try to figure out what's going on. They're trying to figure out exactly what Pariah is doing, why he's doing this, and what he's hoping to accomplish with this. Now, also on Earth, you have the situation where people are trying to figure out why energy and the universe is looking the way it does based off of what is happening and based off of the movements of Deathstroke and his clan. So you come to find out when Deathstroke, and you've already seen kind of snippets of this in past issues, Deathstroke is under the influence of the Great Darkness. So is everyone working with him. And then they encounter Black Adam and the Legion of Doom, led by Lex Luthor. And they start fighting, and oh, whoops, they start getting taken in by the Great Darkness as well, which it's probably a bad thing, you know? So everyone is still in the position where they're trying to figure out what the hell is up with this. You have the JSA trying to, members of the JSA trying to help as well. And you have somebody, trying to talk to Nightwing, Green Lantern of the JSA, trying to talk to Nightwing, trying to have him pull his shit together, man. Like, he stays at Beast Boy Gar's bedside and doesn't know what to do, but they finally are able to pull him away, and we're looking at the possibility of them finally trying to figure out what's going on and what they can do about it. Good thing, because this is issue 4 of 7. We have 3 issues left. Yeah, I did have to count in my head and with my fingers. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that it happens. So let me go ahead and next, let's go ahead and talk about Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, number 4. This is closing out this storyline, kind of, except for it appears that we're going to be revisiting things related to this storyline come soon to Wonder Woman's issues. So if you have been following Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, and you want to find out what happens next, and you're not reading Wonder Woman, welcome. You'll be reading Wonder Woman soon. So Nubia goes on this quest by herself to find Savannah, and to try and stop her from taking in this goddess of wars, becoming the goddess of wars. This goddess's avatar, which is something that Nubia had already taken on in her original life. And that's not necessarily working all that well for either one of them. But eventually Nubia does end up defeating her former I don't even know if I want to call it friend, but she just seems like Nubia was a mentor to this woman when she was a little girl, and maybe friend, mentor, friend, and it looks like that the gods are kind of a little bit frustrated with what they consider, I guess what I want to put it is what they consider slights from the Amazons and other people. And so they've got something up their sleeves. And that's where we're kind of cutting off here. We have the battle, the fight between Nubia and her former friend. And then you have what happens with the gods. It's kind of setting up the next part of the storyline where apparently the gods are going to be trying to get more involved in things as it is because of how they feel about how everything's going. That's how that is. Let's go ahead and we're gonna save the birthday girl for last. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about Batman Beyond Neo Year number 6. This is another one that's kind of ending that storyline, to be continued sometime next year. Nice ending to this. Batman, which is Terry McGinnis, basically is pulling everyone together that he can to work together to take down this Neo Gotham hologram situation. And he's got Barbara Gordon, working with him. He's got Bean Booma working with him. That's the cop that he ended up trusting. He even has like different members of different gangs. Like he's got the Joker gang working with him on this whole situation. And he's like pulling all these different people together. He's got, the cops that, were all disenfranchised by everything that's been going on. He's got Barbara Gordon working with I've talked about them in past videos. What I've referred to them is the Batman Witches Macbeth, working with them in the Batcave and all that jazz. And they end up defeating this. And the whole idea of defeating it, like it doesn't mean killing it. So you always have the threat that it could come back. But for right now, they are taking the win and they are relaxing. And the end of the book, it's basically like, you know what? I'm good for now, and we'll see what happens. And it does tell you at the end of the book, Batman Beyond will be back in next year. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and talk about the Harley Quinn annual, guys. So this is the end of the Harley Quinn event. Now, yes, I did get each of the homage covers. I did. And this is no different. I did. So basically what we have is the culmination of the whole Task Force XX story, which, to be completely honest with you, I love my Harley, but for the most part has been pretty lackluster, with a few different fun moments. But this one had some fun moments in it. The Harley, doing her chaotic good self, just kind of jumping into things, volunteering for jumping into things before she really needs to. It's typical Harley Quinn stuff. And eventually we have two little tales in here. We have the main one, and then we have the secondary tale, which is also having to do with Harley Quinn. And basically what she's doing is she's taking a little trip, a little vacation to celebrate their win against this being, right? And her and Kevin go off to Vegas, and they're hanging out, they're having fun. She's waiting for her cheese plate to arrive, and all of a sudden the FBI shows up, and she thinks she has no clue why the FBI is showing up to her room, and they're being quite cryptic about it. And eventually she finds out that it's so funny. She's like, she has no clue. She thinks that they're after her snow globe that she bought. And like, she's like, why would the FBI be after my snow globe that I just bought? However, what happens is you find out that this alien being has followed Harley to Las Vegas, and that's probably why the government is after her, because of this alien being. But Um, Next week, we do have the 30th anniversary Harley Quinn uh, issue coming out. I have a couple different covers that I'm getting. I'll I'll go ahead and I'll wait to surprise you guys with those next week. All in all, that's it for us. I am super happy that we're going to be starting a new storyline with Harley Quinn. I'm excited to read some of the stuff that is going to be in the anniversary edition. That's going to be a lot of fun. As you can see, I'm wearing my Gotham Flamethrowers t-shirt today in her honor. Uh, and yeah, so I guess that's it for us this week. This Wednesday, for what's happening Wednesday, I believe we're going to talk about season 5 of Cobra Kai because we watched it all in one sitting, guys. We watched it all in one sitting. Dear God. Yeah. Started around 5 a.m. Central Time on Friday morning and just went straight on through. Every once in a while, we tried to say we were going to stop, but then we didn't. We watched it. We watched it all in one morning. Yeah. We'll probably talk about it. Other than that, oh, what else? I got Disney Plus back, and I watched She-Hulk up to now. And guys, that's a pretty good program. I'm really enjoying it actually. It's fun and made me want to read some She-Hulk. I've never read She-Hulk before, so we'll have to see what happens with that. But I'm really enjoying that. It's a matter of time and having available time before I watch the Thor movie. So that maybe might happen within the next few days. Who knows? Still working on the comic organization because I do have some things coming up. I've talked about them in other videos, but I am going to be competing on John Comics with Kids channel Comic Gories, which is done by him and JP from JP's Budget Collecting. So that's really exciting. I'm going to be on the 19th. So not tomorrow Monday, but the Monday after that, I am going to be competing on Comic Gories. So come one, come all. It is a kind of like a game show for comic collectors, people that do this sort of thing, like what I do and what other people do that are on the show, where they come up with these categories and you have to pick a comic from within your collection that fits this category. The cover fits the category. And then the crowd, the live chat, will then vote on who has the best representation of that category. And I'm going to be doing it. So much fun. So much fun. I think the problem, just now thinking about it, I think the problem with the way that the light is going on with the background is probably because of the white door behind me. Yeah. Probably. Anyways, guys, that's it for this week for the Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Review. I am your host, as always, Carrie Quinn. This is the officially unofficial Geek Channel, and I'll be seeing you guys. That's it for me.